Here with UW Lacrosse head football coach Mike Schmidt as we preview tomorrow's WIAC home opener. The Eagles face UW-Stout. Kickoff is at 1:05 p.m. at Roger Herring Stadium at Veterans Memorial Field Sports Complex. It's also family weekend here at UWL. Coach, first, before we talk about Stout, let's talk about last week's game at Platteville.
Yeah.
38-20 loss. You had the lead at halftime, and then the Pioneers came out in the second half. Let's just review that game a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's we ate a lot of humble pie, and that's good for us. We talked right after the game. I mean, how are you going to respond to this? What's your outlook on this game? You know, I was talking with players, right as the game was finishing up, and just talking about how excited I was to watch our team bounce back and see what we're made of. Because ultimately, wins and losses, yes, we want to accomplish those things, and yes, that's what we're judged by. But the reality is, we're trying to check the guts that our team has and what kind of men that we have here, and how can they bounce back. So it's been really exciting this week and been a lot of fun watching that. But yeah, tough game. I mean, they come out and score 31 straight points against us and really run us out of the building. And good for them. They did a heck of a job, and we didn't. And man, it's a good Platteville team, and they really we gave them some momentum, and they really capitalized on it and made a lot of plays. And so I think you still look at that game, and it's a lot of mistakes that we made, and a lot of really small margins for error. I mean, the first two interceptions, one of them goes back for a touchdown. Those are in our hands. They hit guys in the hands, and if they're a little bit further one way and a little bit down on one of them, those are catches, conversions, big plays for us, and instead they go the other way. And I think the key was that we got to make sure that we don't let those kind of big plays rattle us. That we got to make sure Stout's going to have some big plays on Saturday without a doubt, and so are we. And we got to make sure that we learn from that experience, saying, so what, big deal, let's bounce back. And I think our team's done a good job of that this week.
Let's talk about that this week. What have you seen from your leadership in terms of practice this week, and what kind of tempo they have set this week?
Yeah, I mean, the team was down Sunday and Monday, without a doubt. We give them Sundays off, and they came back Monday for practice and totally down, without a doubt. And so it's been fun trying to get the group to respond this week. And we Tuesday we wore our game jerseys for practice on Tuesday, and we got all dressed up for class on Tuesday, because that's what we do. And when you're down and feeling bad about yourself, you get dressed up, get a clean shave in, and put your best clothes on, look in the mirror, get a big smile on your face. And that's really what our outlook was with the team this week. But we've had a really great week of practice. I think the guys have really responded. The energy's been fantastic. And as I said after the game on Saturday, this team in the last 4 years has played their best football when we've been in playoff mode. We're certainly in playoff mode if that's what our goal is ultimately to be. We can't lose another one to give ourselves an opportunity at what we really want to accomplish. And if that's the case, then we gotta approach everything still in front of us. But at the same time, we're not good enough to win the rest of our games if we play the way we've been playing. So excited to watch them play in playoff mode.
Returning to home, to Roger Herring Stadium, just talk about being back home. You haven't been home for a while here. You had 2 road games and a bye week, so just being back at home this week.
Feels like it's been forever. It feels like it's been forever since we've been in a home game. Feels like it's been forever since we've had a win. And I think when you have that, the hard part always is when you play on the road, half your team isn't there. So the reality is we have 60 players who have been a part of these last two games, but we have 50 players who haven't been with the team for either one of these games, haven't been with the team since September 14th. I mean, that's wild that's the case. But that's, we've been almost a month that we've had the whole team together. And so we were faced with a really similar situation last year after we had beaten Stout in an overtime thriller on the road. We had beaten Illinois Wesleyan, but we hadn't won at home in the middle of that. And so, one half of our team hadn't experienced a win. So we've been through that before. We're well versed in what's going on there. We're in tune to the dynamics of the team with that, and trying to get some of those young guys along. They've had a ton of reps in practice and things like that to kind of join. But it's just great to be back in front of our fans, back at home for family weekends. So now we finish out strong with a bunch of home games here, which is really what you want to be when you're trying to win a lot of football games. Get back home.
Have you had to make any adjustments this week? Weather forecast is cooler tomorrow. Now, you played in rain. We had a home game where it was actually hot, and the referee wanted to take a water break. So any adjustments this week? It looks like about a high of 46 tomorrow. It's football weather, of course. We're in Wisconsin. We're used to it. But any adjustments that you need to make, or what it's been like this year in terms of just the weather you've had to deal with?
We're thankful it's dry. The last 2 games that we've played, I mean, we played in Dickinson. It was 50 degrees, sideways rain, 20-mile-an-hour wind. You know, we sat through a lightning delay last week at Platteville, played in the rain. We're thankful that it's not wet. You know, that's really all that really matters to us. But the reality is, it's not good, it's not bad, it just is what it is, and that's kind of what we try to tell our guys. Same thing with the lightning delay last week and our horrible trip out to Dickinson and all the way to get there. It is what it is. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is. And so we haven't made any adjustments or anything in particular to make sure that we're ready for it.
Let's talk about Stout a little bit. You won the last 7 meetings. You won a thriller last year, 29-23 in overtime when Rusty Murphy returned that fumble, 67 yards on Ryan Father's third sack of the game. I know you got some D3 honors from that last year. Just talk about the series with Platteville, a little bit about last year's game as well.
Yeah, the last 2 years against Stout have been just phenomenal games. I mean, really in 2017, I thought that was just a great football game that we ended up winning 21-7 or 17-7, whatever it was. What a great football game that was, in my opinion. I thought it was just a great WIAC late season match. Two teams that didn't really have a whole lot to play for are just slugging it out and playing really tough football. That was one of my most fun games I've ever been a part of, along with last year's game. So really, these last 2 years have just been a lot of fun. Honestly, whether we won or lost those games, those are just great, hard-fought football games, and I have a lot of respect for those guys, how hard they play, the way they play defense, the way they run around, what they're doing on offense. I have a lot of respect for Stout, have a lot of respect for Coach Birmingham, and it's been a lot of fun to play them because you know what you're getting into. You know you're playing a team that plays with a chip on their shoulder. They always have, right? I mean, they just always have, even when I was a player here. Those are some of my most fun games playing it. It's a physical team that doesn't really care who you are. They're going to come and hit you as hard as they possibly can. So, man, tough challenge trying to get back on track with them. And they just play so hard. So really exciting, and it's been a lot of fun the last couple of years for sure.
They lost 26-23 last week at home to Oshkosh. They're averaging over 300 yards a game, about 22 points a game. Mm-hmm. Just what you expect from Stout tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to take their shots when they can on our defense for sure. They've got two of the best wideouts probably around that are just great players. So we obviously have to contain those guys. We have to find a way to get in rhythm on offense, which is going to be tough against them. They don't play a whole lot of stuff on defense, but they're really, really good at it. They're really, really sound at it. They've done such a great job with that staff and the continuity in playing defense. It's a good defense. It's tough defense, and they play really tough. So it's going to be hard for us to get in rhythm, but we just got to know that we got to be patient for our opportunities within that. They have a lot of guys that have played a ton of games. For them on defense, I think they returned 9 of 11 starters from last year, and guys, all of them have played a bunch of snaps for them, with the exception of one safety. But man, they have a lot of experience. They're going to play really good, but they're going to really try to take their opportunities, I would think, up top on our defense, and I think that they're just going to play really sound football. And the key for us on offense is we can't make mistakes. It can't be self-inflicted like it has been here the last couple of weeks. It can't be self-inflicted. We have to make them work on defense. We got to make sure that we play our football. So those are the keys, really. And it's a good team and going to be a heck of a game. It won't be too cold to come out and watch, so come out and check this thing out because it's going to be another great WIC football game.
Final question for you. Any extra feeling for you being from Menominee? I mean, you played, of course, here, two sports star here at lacrosse, but what's it mean when you play Stout every year?
It does mean a lot for me. My dad texted me last night when we were at practice. I got it when I was walking off the practice field. He said, Stout's out here practicing in the pouring rain. Hope your guys are ready, because my dad's driving by going home from work. And that's really cool, to have my parents that are in town there still in Menominee. Certainly it's where my heart is. I love that place and grew up there and have all those memories. Grew up playing in that stadium. It means a lot to me. It probably means more when we go there because I get to see all the people and see smell the smells and feel all the feels. And when they come here, it certainly means a lot to me personally, but at the same time, it's not there, and I didn't go to school there, but a lot of respect for him. Man, I just like Blake Birmingham. I think he does a great job, and it certainly means a lot to me personally. There's a lot of feels to it, but at the same time, I think all of these games mean a lot to me personally, right? I mean, Platteville, I worked there and had a chance to be there. Our first 3 games we played against coaches who had all played and now have coached for more than 18, 20 years at their places in Dickinson, Illinois Wesleyan, and Concordia. That meant a lot to me because that's what I'm trying to do here. So I think it's all personal, and coaching is the most personal business I think that's out there. So It means a lot. It's still pretty cool to have that, but maybe a little bit more when I get to go back there and coach at Williams Stadium.
Again, UW Lacrosse will host UW-Stout tomorrow, Saturday, 1:05 kickoff. It's family weekend. Hope to come out to the stadium. Tailgating starts at 10 a.m., so we hope to see you out there. Thanks, Coach. Good luck.